Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I wanted to thank Eric Meredith. Thank you so much for this request. Today we're going to listen to a band he was a big fan of, and also thanks to Duncan, who kind of like inspired this reaction. So we wanted to thank you as well. But I wanted to read real quickly a little bit of what Eric sent me that inspired him to, just get out this reaction to me. And I wanted to thank you. So it says here, I watched Duncan's favorite picks video this morning, and it included the band Live, who in the 90s put out 4 really great records. I was a massive fan up until the early 2000s. The quality dropped off substantially, and the band began to have a lot of fighting, and I lost track. I lost track of them. They've broken up multiple times in the last couple of years, and then split for good. Actually, it's a real shame because at their best, they were one of the quintessential bands of that decade. I've wanted to share this band with you and the channel for quite some time, and when I saw the video this morning, I thought it would be perfect time to request a song and share. I appreciate that. The song is one of their biggest albums and probably their best. This is a deep cut track. It's a great tune. Hope you enjoy. And thank you so much for also, sending Alexia the best. She does feel a lot better, and since we've done the full album of Gentle Giant, check that out. That was a trip. It was amazing. All right, so again, thank you, Eric. Can't speak today. Thank you so much, Eric, for this request. And without further ado, let's get into it. This is called Live White Discussion, and this is from the album called Throwing Copper, and it's the 25th anniversary. It doesn't really say what year it got released, but oh my god, Alexa just sent me the funniest text. I'll check out in a second what year it was. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the song. I appreciate you all. If you're a fan of Live, let us know. Comment below and let us know. And here we are with the song, and enjoy. Here we go. Let's check out the year.
You talk of flag,
1994.
I talk of revolution, you'd much rather brag. And if the decibels of this disenchanting discourse continue to dampen the day, the conference again and again and again and again, as our sanity walks away. All this discussion, the politically correct, it's dead beyond destruction, though it leaves me quite erect.
The bass.
And if the final sunset rolls behind the earth, and the clock is finally dead, I'll look at you, you look at me, and we'll cry a lot. This'll be what we say. This'll be what we say.
I instructed you. I told you what to expect of the times and seasons, brothers, he said. You yourselves know certainly that the day so cometh.
Very good. Very good. All right. I think it's done. I love how some bands, leave the feedback on. And you get some really cool effects, but just by leaving your guitar, on. I have like this, I don't know, it's almost like something that I do without even thinking. I just like every time I stop a song or you hit that chord where it ends, I do that, like that little thing, and I shut down the volume completely. But I used to do it when I was way younger, to put the guitar against the amp and just let it beat back, and it sounds really cool, especially if you have some delay on there. But this was really, really good. A lot heavier than I expected it to be. I love the drumming on this. It was just like, the bass was super cool, just super present in the recording. And I also I read that so I clicked on the band, and it says here that it was produced by Jerry Harrison of Talking Heads, so that's kind of cool. But so this is this is post grunge, because it's like, well, it does kind of remind me of grunge, but not really. It's like, it sounds almost like when grunge kind of only lasted like 3-4 years, for real. And so this is from 1994, which is still like in the grunge highlight era, but I think it was like 90, 91, 92, 93, and then by 94 I think it kind of like started to fade away a little bit. But this is under post grunge, hard rock, and alternative. I would give it more like alternative, because it was like a mix of, very 90s sounding rock, but also very heavy without going into any kind of metal. I love that there was a solo in there, but just a little bit. And the solos and alternative music are not very melodic. It's more about painting a little picture of sounds. It's not about the shredding. And I kind of like that too, even though I enjoy solos where they go all out and stuff, as does Eric, when they go really technical. But I think that during the 90s, people were just kind of like tired of that, And I totally understand, because the 80s were so full of all those solos and everybody played for 20 minutes, a guitar solo. So when, 90s rock came along, it was like, hey, let's just play, let's just jam on our guitars. Let's just be loud. I really like that. I love the voice. The whole band is just very, very good. It sounded very good. I love that when it was at the 3-minute mark, I really didn't want the song to end. And then I looked and it was 6 minutes. I was like, oh, good. Because I thought, maybe it's going to be shorter because it is, from the 90s. And then when I saw that it was over 6 minutes, I was like, oh, cool. It can still go in different directions. And it did. So very, very cool. Very, very. There's even a story here. If you go on, if you type in live Throwing Copper, there's like this whole documentary of 16 minutes, which is called Crazy History, YouTube Rock and Roll True Stories, whatever happened to the band behind Throwing Copper. And there's a picture of, I think, of the singer. So yeah, that would be kind of interesting to watch as well. I like the sound of this. This is very, very good. It's very original. It doesn't really sound like anything else of that era. Now, there are some bands that I haven't really listened to, and I just saw a commercial when I was watching Max, and now they kind of like make you watch, ads by force if you because we have Max through our phone company, so you have to watch ads, or you have to cancel and get a completely new Max subscription. You can't just upgrade. It's kind of like, yeah, it's weird. But I saw a commercial of 9 Inch Nails. I don't know if that is also post grunge, but I think it is. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I don't know. There's a couple of bands that I really want to get into that are 90s bands, but that have like a little bit more of a not that 90s sound. I mean that, I'm sorry, not that, I didn't mean to say 90s, not that grunge sound. And they're usually almost a little bit heavier. And it's kind of weird to say, what is heavier than, Nirvana or Smashing Pumpkins or Soundgarden? I mean, they're pretty heavy bands, But I don't know, just like in the whole, I don't know. I guess it is a little bit more aggressive. I don't know. It's hard to say, but this was really a great pick. Thank you so much. It's totally different from the other song that I did. So my expectations were high, but they're kind of like were, I guess I didn't expect it to be that good. This was very, very good. I love the voice. And like I said, the drums were super heavy, super loud. So was the bass. And just like to kind of like, compensate with the really heavy riffing that he was doing. So all in all, really cool band. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Eric. I appreciate it. Now, let me know if you have ever heard live. Are you super new to the band? Are you an old are you a mega fan? Or are you just like, were you like, like Eric, a super fan? Or have you never heard of them? It's so funny that a lot of people are like, I've never heard of this band. Or they're like, I'm a super fan. Or maybe I heard a couple of songs. For me, this was the second song ever that I've ever heard of this band, but they're really cool. And yes, there's a lot of, sometimes in these bands, any band, I think, any band that ever existed. I mean, I don't know if the Stones, they're still going since the 60s. And I'm sure they've had their fights and stuff. I've heard some hilarious recordings of Iron Maiden fighting. There's some like stuff recorded on Seventh Son where they had some problems on stage, and it's hilarious because they're all fighting in a room and some guy kind of like recorded. It's really funny. But yeah, I mean, bands fight, like Oasis. There's a perfect example of, a band that is always kind of like struggling because of all the egos that go on in the band. And it's just also some musical differences. And I mean, There's so much things. Having a band is not easy. I've been in many bands with adults, which is really easy, to get along. It's very straightforward. But I've always also been in bands when I was just a teenager, and we were just like, everybody wanted to do something different and something else, and there's a lot of tension, so yeah. But again, thank you so much for another introduction, a reintroduction into Live, the band. Really, really cool. And again, thank you so much, Eric, for your support, for your love, for the channel, and all the great things that you do. Thank you so much. Thanks everybody for watching. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.